Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's reading vlog. I have been seeing so many videos with the concept of doing reading or hobbies related to how much time you spend on your phone, which I think is just such a fun concept because it just gets you off your phone and doing something maybe a little bit better for you, a little bit more productive. But I wanted to put my own kind of spin on it and kind of combine two of, I guess, my favorite hobbies, two of the things that I do the most, and that is reading and working out. So I'm going to be looking back through my Strava for the past week and reading as many pages as I spent working out in minutes in the past week. So for every minute, I'm going to read one page. I'm going to try to get it all done in one day. Like I'm going to try to read that much today. So I have my Strava here and I have been recording every single one of my workouts, no matter how small it is, whether it's a walk, an ab workout, a lift session, whatever it was, I have been recording all that. So I just have to add up all the minutes that I spent doing it. And like I said, I'm going to be doing the past 7 days worth of activities. I don't think there's going to be a lot this time because I know I didn't work out like at all last weekend, had other things going on, wasn't feeling well a couple days. So I don't think this one's going to be too much, which is why I think I can do it in one day. I don't often think of reading and working out as things that really go together. So to be able to combine them for this video, I just thought was kind of a fun idea. So I actually finished Powerless by Elsie Silver on my Kindle today. I thought I was going to include that amount of pages that I read into today since it's already like midday, but I realized that I read 104 pages this morning, and that would be like more than half of what I need for this reading goal for the day. So I'm not even going to count that, and let's add up all of the pages. I did it earlier and I think it was like 180 something, but I didn't save it, so we're going to add them all up again. So I had 14 minutes, 31 minutes and 42 seconds, 27 minutes on this walk. We'll round up to 29 minutes, 10 minutes, 31 minutes, and 38 minutes. So we have 181 minutes that I spent in the gym the last 7 days. So we're gonna read 181 pages today. Again, not counting the 104 that I already read this morning. I think I'm gonna start the next book in the Throne of Glass series, and I am on Queen of Shadows. I feel like it's been a while that I've had a good chunk of time to just get reading in, and I'm really excited. A little update. I'm only on chapter 4, which is page 26. Also, it started on page 3, so really I'm only on page like 23. But I had to take a quick break and make some lunch, so I'm just gonna give you a little update right now. Obviously, not much has happened super early in the book, but like I said, I took quite a long break since reading Heir of Fire, and I was a little nervous that I was going to be lost in the beginning of this one and wouldn't remember, but it really does a nice job kind of recapping. It doesn't really recap, but just the way it starts kind of just seamlessly like flows right from Heir of Fire, and just kind of the way that they say where the characters are at right now helped me remember the whole ending of Heir of Fire and everything that I needed to know to be caught up for this one. And I'm also just excited to be back in Ardalan and just kind of see what those characters are up to. It feels like it's been a long time since we've really gotten to see them. But I'm gonna keep reading now. I have to get to page 184 if I want to hit the 181 pages, because again, it started on page 3. So I'm looking ahead right now, and that brings me to just about to chapter 23. So I'll be a good chunk of the way through this book if I can actually get that done. I am going to take another break in probably like an hour or so and go work out, but then I think pretty much the rest of the night I can just read. I feel like a common description that's used in a lot of these books, especially in like the fighting scenes, is Celaena or Aelin, whichever, her nails breaking from like force going through her nails if she's like holding on to something. And that image just, I don't know why, the description of nails being broken from like holding on, that one really gets me. I really hate that one. And they keep using it repeatedly. It's like nauseating and almost a similar effect to like nails on a chalkboard. Like the sound and like squeaking on the floor, like, oh, just makes me feel really weird. Bucketing out there right now. I've made it to page 63, chapter 8, and I'm honestly so happy how it's wrapping up on Celaena, Aelin, I guess I'll just call her Aelin now, on her last like love interest, I guess you could say. If you've read the books, you'll know what I'm talking about. From the very beginning, when that relationship started, pretty sure I even mentioned this in my last book wrap up in like March, I just hated that relationship. I didn't understand it. The attraction just didn't really make sense to me. They just didn't really seem to fit. And I was honestly really hoping that that was not going to last. So I'm really happy that we're getting some closure on there. Even like it seems like kind of the love bubble like burst and they're finally seeing each other in a different light where they really don't even like each other. And that just makes a little bit more sense to me. I mean, it's a little weird how much they flipped and how suddenly they flipped. I don't quite understand that, but it kind of makes a little bit more sense to me than their love story did. And I'm glad that it's getting closure because I honestly thought possibly when she returned to Ardalan that it would just like they would kind of reconnect and rekindle the love. And yeah, I'm glad it's going the other way. I'm about to get ready and head to the gym. I just want to get my body moving today. I really haven't done very much like actively today, so definitely want to get a workout in, and then I will see you guys after that. I still have like 60 more pages left to read or something like that. No, way more than that. What am I thinking? Oh my goodness, I still have 120 pages left to read. We have a lot to go. I'm looking a little bit slimy and sweaty, but I finished my workout. I just did like a 20-minute HIIT workout and I still want to get a little bit more movement in, so I just pulled out my walking pad. It's been stored under my bed for so long. I have not been using it at home, but it's a perfect way to just get in a little bit more steps and movement, and then I can keep reading this as I walk. So I'm just going to throw on a Queen of Shadows playlist on Spotify to have some background music while I'm walking. Sometimes this walking pad trips our circuit breakers as I'm walking on it, and I basically stumble and like almost throw out my back every single time. I think I have found one outlet in our apartment that it usually works on for the most part, so I'm hoping we don't have any casualties today. I walked for like 30 minutes and now I'm about halfway done with my 181 pages. I don't feel like there's too much to update on right now. It's kind of just setting the scene for something that's probably going to be a big part of the story. So right now it's just a lot of setting the scene for where each character is in the moment and kind of like foreshadowing each role that they're gonna play in what's upcoming. So not really much update, but it's like 6 o'clock right now. I'm not hungry for dinner yet, so I'm gonna go sit outside and get a little bit more fresh air, keep reading until dinner, and then I'll probably just finish up my pages in bed tonight. Also, I have been loving listening to this playlist while I read this. I never used to listen to anything when I would read. I thought it was too distracting, but ever since I started listening to like book tailored playlists on Spotify with fantasy books specifically, I think I started doing it with the ACOTAR series and then Throne of Glass. Oh my gosh, it just like, it adds so much to it. It adds like an intensity and like a different feeling. And sometimes the perfect song just comes on at like the right moment and it just enhances all the feelings, especially when it's something like super badass or something suspenseful or scary. I don't do it all the time, but I have been enjoying it. I'm gonna keep listening right now. Highly recommend, even if you think you're someone who could never listen to something while you're reading. That's how I used to think too, but I really think it just adds like so much emotion to it. It's about 9 o'clock right now. So far I've made it to page 121. So I have 63 more pages to read. I just made myself a nice little cup of tea and I just wanted to hop in bed and be a little bit cozy and start winding down for the night. So I'm just gonna relax. I'm not gonna listen to the music now because I feel like it's a little bit too much when I'm trying to wind down, unwind for the night. But I'm excited to see where we get in these next 60 pages. Also, even more exciting is that once I finish this, I'm on to the tandem read, and it's just such a new concept for me. I've never done a tandem read, so I'm just really excited to do that and see how that works and see how that whole thing unfolds. So I'm super excited to get to that. It does not matter how short of a time span it's been since I've picked up a book. I always have to read the last like 3 or 4 sentences of the previous page to remember where I'm at and what's going on. Oh yeah, okay. I feel like I'm reading this so slowly. Like I mentioned this morning, I had read 100 pages of my other book pretty quickly. I would say within less than a couple hours, like in an hour and a half probably. This one I'm at 130 pages and I started at like 1:30 or 2 and it's now 9:30 or something. No, 9. And I know I've been like doing other things throughout the day and just picking it up periodically, but also I think part of it is there's just so much more to the plot and to the storyline, and I just want to make sure that I know everything correctly. And the way that the story is told, I feel so lost and it doesn't clarify it for a little bit. So I sit there like analyzing it, trying to figure it out, and then later it becomes clear, it kind of gets explained. And I also think part of that is because I definitely have forgotten who some of these people are, some of the more like side characters. As they're mentioning things about them, I've been having to really kind of rack my brain on who they were, and it's kind of throwing me off. But I think I'm finally back on track with really who everyone is, like even the side characters. So hopefully it starts to pick up a little bit. It's not that the story's super slow. I mean, it kind of is a little bit slow right now because again, it's building things up, but I think it's still going at a good pace. It's just my pacing for this book right now. I'm going so slow trying to like catch all the details and make sure I'm following along correctly. But with that being said, it's 9:05 right now. I have 54 pages left to read. I'm gonna try not to stop and just see how long it takes me to read these last 50 pages, because to read 50 pages really should not take me more than an hour tops, I feel like. So I want to see if I can actually do that. I just got to chapter 18 and it's starting to get good. The pace is starting to pick up. Things are happening. Oh my gosh. I love when the commotion starts happening and all the action and things get crazy, because I just get so swept up in it that the smallest like plot twists just catch me so off guard. It's things that I feel like, yeah, I should have seen that coming, but I was just so wrapped up in the action of what's going on that just floored me. Okay, I know I said I was going to try to just read the rest of the pages without a break, but I feel like I need one more little break because I just got through the chaos and it's switching back over to like another scene with the witches, and I feel like I need a break before I can just switch from what was just happening back to the witches and what's going on with them. But it's been 39 minutes and I've read 42 pages, so pretty good. I think earlier I just really wasn't locking in, but now that I'm like in bed relaxing with nothing else to do, I'm like really locked in. And also it was a very interesting part of the book, like there was a lot happening, so it definitely had me just reading super fast and wanting to know what was coming next. But I'm gonna take a small break before I finish these last 20 pages. My eyes are burning and I'm so tired. I don't know why, it's literally barely after 10 o'clock right now, but I really want to finish this. So we're gonna lock in. I'm gonna sit up so I don't fall asleep and get these last 20 pages done. I did it. I read the 181 pages to complete my goal of reading the same number of pages as I worked out this past week. And where I ended up, I think it actually ended up being 180 pages, but it was the perfect place to stop because it was the start of a new chapter and it was like the perfect stopping point. Everything that had been going on in the scenes before had kind of wrapped up enough where it was like calm again. So it was a perfect place to stop, but still pretty early on in this book. So I'm on page 183 and let's see, how long is this book? I mean, it's very thick. It is 645 pages. So I kind of have like barely put a dent in it. I love that there was already like action and a pretty big scene that already played out. I really thought that was going to get dragged on a lot longer. So I love that that happened pretty early on and we got like right into the action. And like I said before, I really didn't have too hard of a time jumping back into it after having not read these books in probably a couple months. I think it's been since I read the last one. So just such good storytelling, so descriptive. And there's just like enough glances to back in time that you can remember how the story has developed and gotten to here, but in a way that's it's just such good storytelling and so entertaining. So it's like, even though you already know it, it's told almost in a different way that it keeps it entertaining to hear it again. And again, if you're someone like me that took a break, it's just refreshing. Like a refresher for your mind. I'm excited to keep going with these again. Like I said, the tandem read is next, so I think once I finish this, I'm just gonna hop right into that. And then I think that's the last book after that, if I'm remembering correctly. But it is summer now, it's June, so I'm also gonna be reading some nice light summer romances alongside reading these, because I do love just a good like mood read and seasonal read. But I'm gonna end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun doing this. I don't usually do a page goal for myself, so this is just a little bit different for me and I really enjoyed it. I'll probably try something like this again another time. But thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.